your girl has not been great. I will be honest. I am in my self-exploration era, and hence the haircut and everything might be looking more chopped than my previous hairstyle of a longer hair. My hairstylist already told me to not cut my hair, but I still did lah. But my friends were all saying that it's nice. They say it's chill. Unless they're lying to me and they're fake friends. Haha. Today's episode is about emotional games in relationships. So if you ever ignored a text on purpose, or acted less interested, or waited to reply just to feel more in control, this episode is for you. Because same, I think I have been that girl, and maybe I still am sometimes. I'm not even proud of it, okay? But I think that is what this is all about. We learn together, we grow together. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm above it. I'm telling you like, hey, let me clock you, and then you clock me, and then we clock each other on the shit, and then we move on. So recently I've been thinking, why are we still calling it emotional games like it's something cute? Games are cute, okay? I remember playing Audition when I was really young, like secondary school, and then I remember getting a UTI from it. Haha, because I just stood in front of the laptop for too long and I just didn't go to the toilet. But anyway, you don't need to know any more of this. Moving on, emotional games are not a talking stage experience, okay? Let's call it what it is. I don't think emotional games should be a nice word. It should be called inauthentic behavior. Let me explain. I'm turning 25 this year and I don't have much time for this. I don't have the kind of energy to sit there and calculate, when is the right time for me to reply? What do I say? How do I sound less interested than I already am? Like, don't you think all the thinking that you're doing is actually pretty exhausting? If I like you, I will reply. If I don't reply, it's not a strategy. I'm probably just busy, mentally not there, or I just don't feel like talking at the moment. And that's very normal. It's very normal for everyone to not reply sometimes because maybe you're busy, maybe you're out of it. Everyone has their moments where they are just out of it. So normal. But purposely waiting just because someone did not reply for 1 hour? Nah. I'm chronically online. Like, this is my job. So I'm always on my phone. And if I can, I will reply. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, let me wait 1 hour, 17 minutes because this guy did not reply me that fast. I do not want to look desperate. For what? Like, who are we performing for? So what are emotional games? Emotional games, to me, I feel like it is acting in a way that is not authentic, just to control how someone feels about you. And once you see it like that, 有点 embarrassing, right? Because you realize you're not even being yourself, you're actually being a character. That is not you, girl. So let me give you some examples. So for example, taking longer to reply so you don't look too available. Doesn't that hit close to home? Or acting like you don't care when you actually care a lot. Familiar? Or saying I'm chill when you're actually spiraling on the inside. Or posting Instagram stories to indirect them, hoping they'll notice instead of telling them like directly, like communicating like, hey, I wasn't really happy about what you did. But instead we will post stuff. Hey, I'm so guilty of it, okay? I'm clocking myself right here. As a content creator or influencer, whatever you call it, I express so much of my emotions online. Wow, I will actually clock myself for that. The inability to communicate is huge. Oh my gosh, me too. So another big one, testing people instead of trusting them. Creating situations just so, you can see how they react. Let me give you an example. People actually pay other people to test their partners whether they will cheat or not. For example, I was seeing this trending thing about how other girls will pay a girl just to go and like DM their boyfriend to see like if they're cheat worthy or not. Why are you going to that extent? This one is actually quite insane, not gonna lie. I think it takes a lot of effort. Or this, pulling away to see if he chases you. At that point, it is a strategy, it is control, it's manipulation packaged really nicely. In a relationship, as long as we are in one, as long as you are giving your heart to someone else, you wear your heart on your sleeve, which is something I love to do, by the way. I love to wear my heart on my sleeve. I love to give my all in a relationship, and I would love to fall back on my partner, not like fully dependent. He is my world in a way. So being so cautious about it is a bit hard because when you're in a relationship, you're setting yourself up for the risk of getting hurt. If you don't want to ever get hurt, then don't ever get in a relationship, so that you can just fully depend on yourself. Emotional games is not because we are toxic people in a sense. I mean, many of us have toxic behaviors, I included, but it's not that we want to be toxic people, but we exhibit toxic behaviors because we're scared. So if I were to dive deeper, it's like fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, fear of caring more, fear of losing control, and sometimes even trauma. So when love feels unstable, your brain will say, if I'm not in control of this, if I don't know what's going to happen next, if I am unsure about what the outcome is, I am not safe. So your brain is actually interpreting everything just to defend you. In the moment, you prioritize control over connection. And connection should be genuine. Connection requires honesty. And honesty requires risk. So the problem with playing games is that you're trying to build something real. And hiding yourself, it doesn't work. A little chase at the start though, I would say it's really cute. Like, I personally, as a girl, I would love for a guy to chase me. But there's a limit. For example, if I like a guy, I'm not afraid to show it. I will reply him very quickly. I would be okay with hanging out with him. I would dedicate some time to him. I would show him my time of the day, tell him about my life, my interests. That there is nothing wrong in showing the person that you like them as a girl. Why you act all like, oh my god, no, just to get him have the idea like what, oh, maybe this girl don't like me, maybe I shouldn't chase her. You get what I mean? It's totally okay to tell a guy that you like him. It's 2026. I almost said 2025. I'm still stuck in the past. So now, you want to text him, but you wait 3 hours. Now you guys are both confused. He's confused like, oh gosh, does she even like me or not? Should I even keep texting her? Why annoy her? And then you're like, I'm not going to text him for 3 hours. Don't want to look too interested at the start. So what did you gain? Nothing. You waste time into playing games. He pulls away, so you pull away harder. Now both of you are competing who cares less, and suddenly there's no communication. And then he replies one word, okay. And then I just leave him on read. That's the old me. But now, if he was busy, maybe he's driving or maybe he forgot. Maybe he was in a very important meeting. He just replied okay because he's typing it under the desk, and he'll probably get back to me 2-3 hours later after his meeting. I'm not making excuses for people. I'm just saying that when we create the benefit of doubt, we would not spiral to the worst case scenario more often. I have so many times where I have friends that say like, oh, he didn't reply me today. Ah, shit. He just doesn't like me. I'm done. And then a few days later, they were like, oh, he was just busy at a meeting just now. He was actually really caught up and he called me after that to talk to me. Come on, benefit of doubt. Everyone has their own life outside of whatever talking, situationship, or texting that you're doing. So I'm not saying making excuses. I'm saying if you want to continue the conversation, just text. If the guy replies okay, you can be like, hey, you're busy right now, we can text later, no problem. Or you could just ask, how's your day going? There is no shame in that. So next point I'm going on. Silent resentment is also a game. And then it accumulates and one day you explode like, shit, I didn't even like that all along. I don't understand why you did this, blah, 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 blah. And then the other party was like, I didn't even know. Like, you didn't even tell me. I thought you were okay with it. So that is emotional games because you're not being honest. So if something bothers you and you don't say it, you're actually teaching them that's okay. If you want something long term, you need to speak your mind. Not aggressively, but like just learn how to be more honest with how you feel. Like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. Can we talk about it? There's a difference between giving grace and betraying yourself. Am I right? So the core issue is all emotional games come down to one thing. We don't know how to communicate, which is what I said in my first episode. Communication is freaking hard. It is very hard. It requires so much vulnerability, and all of us have ego, okay? And some of us are very ego-driven people. It's very hard to speak our mind. Vulnerability is so scary to so many people. Even as I say this like with my heart, with my chest, and doing this podcast, there's actually definitely some sort of ego in me that I'm keeping inside, that I'm not being 100% honest with you about things. You get what I mean? Because everyone has ego. If I were to wear all my walls down, you'll probably think I'm not cool anymore. And I need you to think I'm cool. The hard truth is you are not hard to get. You are hard to understand. You're not protecting your energy. You're actually avoiding vulnerability. And you're not being mysterious. You just kind of appear emotionally unavailable. And that's not the cool look that we're going for. The right person doesn't need to be played. They need to be met. You don't need to play all the games just to get the girl of your dreams or the guy of your dreams. You need to be yourself. And then you'll meet the right kind of people. I'm saying be yourself, but in a sense like work on yourself, but at the same time don't be afraid to show your quirks. Don't be afraid to show that you're funny, you're actually really talkative, you're extroverted, you are really enthusiastic, you're really passionate about something. Don't be afraid to show it. Be a bit shameless but grounded at the same time. This is me. Take it or leave it. Not in a sense where you show your shitty attitude as well. I'm saying have some sort of level of consciousness about what you're doing. If I keep up with this energy, the right person will be like, oh my gosh, I really love this too, you know? And then we could have a conversation all day. And that's when I know like, hey, I might have found someone I could vibe with. Maybe this energy is something that can go really long term. So this is where you start observing. Imagine you pull like a really hot guy of your dreams and then he just turns out very boring and he's not your type. What's it gonna do, right? You're actually discounting yourself into finding someone that is meant for you. For example, if I am a very talkative person and I double text a lot and I tell them about my day, this is me. If you don't like me, then maybe you find someone quieter, then damn it. You get what I mean? When you do that, you stop testing people and you start observing them instead. Is this my person? Do you think I can vibe with this person long term? For example, if you're talking to a guy and you tell him about your passion, he's just like, okay. Then maybe he's just not interested in you lah, and that's okay. So instead of pulling away, learn how to be consistent because consistency builds trust. Things won't always go your way. Rejection happens, but life goes on. Honestly, I feel that rejection is part of life. There's always two outcomes to talking to someone, okay, in the emotional games kind of thing. Whether you're in a relationship or not, speaking your mind is always the best thing. And then if you disagree on something, then come and try to go to a middle ground. If you're on a talking stage and you tell a guy you like him and then he rejects you, what's the worst thing that can happen? Go and find someone else. There are 10 billion people in the world. I'm just shitting my ass out. I don't know the exact numbers, but there are so many people in the world. I kid you not, I'm pretty sure you're able to find someone that matches your vibe. And to me, love is all about being best friends. I used to think that love is all about, loving each other, the intimacy, all the love language and stuff like that. But it also requires being best friends. And that's what I learned. It's very important. Love should be fun. And I think I'm a very fun person. I think I'm funny. Maybe not so much online, but I think in real life, I am very funny. I think I can be a very funny girlfriend. And then if you match my energy, we'll have so much fun. And then we could laugh all day. But then before that, I have to learn how to sort out my insecurities and trauma. So this is a long work we are gonna do. The worst case, just get rejected. And then if the person is cold to you after they reject you, then just take it as, shit, that person is just not meant for me. Maybe that person wasn't as good as I thought the person would be. Because we tend to fall in love, or we tend to like a lot of people for their potential. We love to create scenarios in our head. For example, when a person breaks up, your brain suddenly creates like a beautiful montage about the person, and then you just start crying. But all these are what your brain kind of like makes you think. Yeah, I kind of like dissociated for a bit. What was I saying? I feel I went into it. Clarity feels scary, but confusion is honestly way worse, I would say. Learning how to be your authentic self will lead you to the right person that needs to play no games. It is about two people being so authentic to the point that you look at each other and be like, shit, I found my person, because this person knows me so well. This person accepts me for who I am. And with that, it really starts from the foundation of being yourself at the very beginning, from the very start. You can't be showing your authentic self like 6 months in and then the other person like, damn, I fell for the wrong person. I yearn for a relationship where I can tell my partner how I feel, and then he goes like, oh, thanks for telling me. Let's work this out. Vice versa. I think that I used to be so bad with communication. If someone were to tell me how they feel, I'll be like, oh, but then, what about me? What about me? Shut the hell up. Shut the F up. It's a two-way thing. Shit, I shouldn't have made it about me. Oh my god. Main character syndrome. If you are putting yourself in a relationship when you're going into a talking stage, you're putting yourself up for getting hurt. As long as someone else is involved in your love life, you are putting up yourself to get hurt. So you either accept it, take the risk, and show your authentic self, which will slowly lead to you to find your person, even if it's not this person. If not, you'll forever just be like inauthentic. And I don't think that's what you want, because you really want to find your person at the end of the day. Either way, you win because you stayed true to yourself. Wow, this is so empowering, but it's so important. Staying true to yourself. Stop playing games, start being real, and that will slowly lead you to the right kind of love that you want. Dare to make mistakes. Dare to learn with your partner. The right person will stick by you to allow you to make mistakes if you are truthful from the start. And this is something I learned, and it's a really huge lesson. So, I end this episode by saying, stop playing emotional games. It is not cute. It is a little bit of a manipulation thing. So start being authentic, and slowly and hopefully you will get the relationship that you yearn all along. Friendships included, love included. Alright, with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. And I hope by then I will feel better as well. Yup. But today I'm on all smiles. My mood is pretty great. I'm gonna probably take a nap right now. Bye everyone. See you guys in the next one.